assistants today. So I turn around and I see these two beautiful young girls, three girls actually. Justin Young means what's your name? And Name Day means smile.
Tamun.
Tamun. Justin Young?
Nit.
Nit.
So what you're going to see now is there's an existing primary school, but we were building a preschool. And I just met these girls literally in this moment, and it kind of hits me.
And you're going to be our first preschool students. Yeah, sounds good. All right, I think you guys like it.
So now I'm smitten. Now I'm just totally in love, not just with the idea of building a school, but I have these girls whose lives could truly change. And what was incredibly personally transformational was months later when I got this picture, and Facebook was just kind of getting legs at this point in time. And so I posted this, and then I posted this picture, which was Nit and Nut now in their very first classroom. And this language that I had been speaking became real, right? It was no longer just an idea. It was incredibly real. And so I came back to my job and I had to make this critical decision. Do I return to band after I took this sabbatical, or do I pursue the person that I really genuinely believe I'm on earth, that I'm in this existence to become? And that's when I heard this phrase, that you make the little decisions with your head and the big ones with your heart. And I think every single person at some point in your life, it might be a relationship, a home where you live, a job that you choose, a school that you end up attending, but you have these massive decisions and your head will tell you something. I'm here to tell you, follow your heart. Your heart will never lead you wrong if you follow. You might find challenges and regrets, but those regrets are temporary. If you follow your heart, you will not go wrong. And that's what I did. I said, I'm going to go and focus on building a best-in-class organization. And I noticed that there was profit and purpose and that those were traditionally separate, and that there was an emerging generation that said no, that that's not the case anymore, that they're intersecting, and that we each have a sense of profitable purpose, where it's not just about maybe making the world better or advancing yourself, but that those two can intersect in a way in which you are advanced and society is made better as well. And I said, this phrase, nonprofit, it makes no sense to me. It's the only industry that says what it's not, right? Why does it say you're nonprofit? And none of us are driven by not profiting. We're driven by making, true value, purpose emerge. And so I said, Pencils of Promise, yeah, we're technically a nonprofit, but we're not going to treat ourselves that way. We're a for-purpose organization. We're about making the world better. We're not about lack of profits. And we're going to be driven by data. The same way that Bain trained me and so many others on building a best-in-class company, we were going to take the same approach to best-in-class problem solving on global issues, and that we would build a movement of people, of true citizen philanthropy. And there's amazing stories all across the organization. This was a girl who raised $250, educated 10 kids by shouting at people on the corner of 42nd and 10th. This girl, Kennedy Donnelly, she's 17, she just rode a bicycle across the country and raised $10,000 in doing so. We threw a party for her at our office. A donor was there and said, you know something? I'm going to match it. I'm going to do another 10. And her response last week was, geez, I should have just started here and I would have met my goal. And then Lewis, who donated his birthday, said, I'm going to match every dollar donated. And he raised $25,000 to build a full school. And so this is our story now. This is the snapshot. Pencils of Promise, as of this week, has broken ground on 90 schools around the world in 4 different countries across Africa, Latin America, and Asia. There's over 400,000 supporters in some form of this organization, and we've delivered more than 3 million educational hours. And this is what I feel like is my purpose. But it was only found through following those 4 mantras that I shared earlier. One great kind of part of this story is that I returned later on and thanked Toel as we opened up our first school. As of this week, we broke ground on a new school every day last week in Guatemala. We've now built 40 schools in Joel's region so that people like him are empowered to educate their children. Now it's about continuing to speak that language. We'll break ground on a new school every 90 hours in the coming year. That's a big claim, but I know that this organization can do it. And the way it's going to happen is by a movement of the people. And so this is one way to easily find me, adam@ipromise.org. It's very simple in case any of you guys want to get in touch. And the very last thing that I'll share with you is the current phrase that's guiding me right now. It's how can you, with the knowledge that the world will change in the next 10 years and you will change within it, how can you create the most positive impact for as many lives as possible. I think every one of us has the capability to truly transform millions of lives. Every person is a revolution being carried within a vessel. And it's just about finding your purpose, activating it. And I hope that each of you dream big, because if your dreams aren't scaring you, then I really believe that we're not dreaming big enough. Thanks so much, guys.
Stream snipping fucking